I just made a blog video, but I'm gonna make another one. Hopefully, I know my mom is watching my videos, and I don't like that she's doing it, and it makes me angry too, because she always has something to say. It's just like Life was Overrated 96 talking about in his videos, the same thing. Like, you complain about life, and people say you're depressed, you need to go to psychologist. And then when you do that, you have less money because you have to pay for it. And then you're getting broke. And then that's like a vicious cycle. Because of that, you get more depressed. But here's the main reason why I don't like to be around people. I already said that, I don't like to be judged and criticized. I want to do what I want to do, and I don't want to be bothered, But I guess if you're a public figure, you're going to be criticized no matter what. But I'm going to be talking about tribalism, Like today, somebody was a nice man. He gave me a ride. He was talking about, there is a church, go there. And I didn't tell him that I'm Jewish and this and that. I didn't want to say that. Even though I'm like 70.7% Ashkenazi Jews genetically, which is like 4.3% less than expected, because I was thinking before I'm 75. But the problem with Jewish people, like I said, you deal with community, family, whatever. They want you to be certain way, they want you to act certain way, they judge your life choices, things like that. And you see, I don't like to be around people, because being around people, it means that people's going to be judging you. Something wrong with you. Oh, you don't go to that place. You don't like this, you don't like that. Like, fuck. I just don't want to deal with it, honestly. Oh, you like to vape, you drink, you smoke weed. It's not good for your health, whatever. But so what? Like, dealing with the bullshit is good for me, right? You see, when you deal with people, you realize that you're a fucking slave. They want you to be certain way and act certain way in order to be part of the group. And if you don't agree with it, they don't want nothing to do with you. Just like being Jewish. Why is it bad? Because they want you to be part of the community. Just like any other group. Just like that guy told me to go to the church, and I told him, you know what, I'm not really a religious person. And I just feel like, a lot of things in life is generally a waste of time, but I feel like religion is also kind of a waste of my time. I don't see the point in it. Yeah, people want to believe in higher power, and I guess that makes them feel better and happier, but it doesn't make me happy, because to me it's all, I don't know, to me it's all fake, I guess. I just don't value being part of the group, period. I just don't see any value in that. And being around people means that you have to just subscribe to everything this group is all about. And people say, well, we can agree to disagree and this and that, but not really. Because if you don't agree, they're either gonna try to fix you, or They want nothing to do with you. And some people, like the stupid real PewDiePie, thinks that the most important thing in life is to be around people, be tribal, belong somewhere. People will like you, people will help you. But in order to do that, you need to be certain way and act certain way. And it's just not how I want to be. I was happy the way things were before, you know. And I'm thinking sometimes like I'm in Wisconsin now, but it's temporary. Just like my stay in California, that was a temporary thing. I think that I know very soon I'm probably going to be in New York, even though my family doesn't want me there, but I think that I'm better off there. And that's the thing, like family, friends, community. All these things are bad. I mean, it's not bad to have friends, but I mean, it isn't, because, and it's not really important for me, really, because that kind of takes away your freedom, because you feel like you have to please people. You have to be certain way and act certain way. They expect you to be certain way, and it's just a burden for me, really. You know? It just sorry guys, I'm about to go to sleep soon and relaxing now. But being by yourself is the best, because then you can just figure out what you really want and what you can and cannot do without being bothered by people. I mean, we're social creatures, I guess, so we need to communicate and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, if you want truly to be free, that's not the way to go. And I know that other people, not just myself, but other people whom I see on the internet, and in real life, I don't really talk too much to people. I like to avoid social interactions, because nowadays people are crazy and they act weird because of the real PewDiePie, and what they're doing to socialize is just stupid. Like, people call me stupid for saying how I feel about things, but nobody said how stupid the real PewDiePie is. Because he's trying to do something which doesn't really work. It's only making me angry. And I feel like other people who make parodies of Todd and me. I mean, the real PewDiePie is the stupidest one. The Wise Man's Committee, at least he's funny and he's not as offensive. You know? But I just don't want to deal with all this judgment shit and all of these social norms and all other stuff. I just don't see myself as a part of society. I feel like I'm a separate entity which has nothing to do with these people. And to me, all of this tribal stuff, all of this religion, all of this community stuff, it's all a bunch of crap. I mean, it's good to have good relationship with everybody, not to offend people. I agree with that, but doing that is a difficult task because you can't really express yourself without being judged, criticized, or hated on. And the only way not to deal with that is just not to be around people, pretty much. Or if you have conversation with people, it's going to be something like, hey, how are you? Talking about interests. Talking about things that you have in common. That's the only way. Kind of keeping it on the surface level. Not keeping it too deep. That's like the best way to deal with people. That's just how the world works. I feel like, I used to have a conversation years ago with John Mark. And he used to tell me it's a good thing that people are different. I had that conversation with other people too. And people used to tell me, oh, it's a good thing that people are different because this is what makes the world go around. But I don't agree with it because I feel like if everybody would be like me, it would be easier for me to get along with people. Because we have the same brain and people would be able to relate to each other, understand each other, would be less wars, would be less problems. That's just how I see it. Would be less aggravation. And I cannot have that because we're all different. Because people trying to fix you, people trying to be certain way, act certain way, marry somebody in certain ethnic group or a certain religion or certain mentality. So that's right there shows that freedom doesn't exist. Because when people want these things for other people, like we want you to be certain way and act certain way, even if it's like being normal. Well, like I've been telling in my previous videos, I've been saying in my previous videos, I meant to say. I've been saying that people who feel that way, they can get the fuck out right now. So here I am all alone. And every time I interact with people, believe it or not, as funny as it sounds, but I feel like I need to be careful the way I interact with them. And people are generally nice and polite, but I feel like if I'm going to say how I feel, they wouldn't want to be around me. You have to follow suit, you have to follow their culture. You have to have interest. That's the most important thing. And that's what people used to tell me too. And I've been watching this video for psychologists and people telling Lydia seems like the same thing which what people used to tell me 20 years ago back in Russia. And I'm thinking to myself, People going to psychologists and pay them money to hear basic things like focus on yourself, don't try to change others, focus on you, don't worry about other people. But even people without psychology degree, they saying the same thing. But the difference is, psychologists, you have to pay them for their services to say that. Friends gonna tell you that for free. And I was thinking like, damn, all these people who are giving me that advice, people in my university, my high school, they shouldn't be charging me money for it. When I'm watching these videos of Russian psychologists, probably talking to Lydia, I'm like, damn, Lydia is paying people money to hear the same things which people used to tell me in Russia 20 years ago for free. It's like she's wiping her ass with $100 bills. And she just keeps doing and doing that, I guess. And she feels like this is something, to do. Reminds me of my buddy Dan, who wasted a lot of money on lottery. And I used to be angry, I used to yell at him, which was stupid of me. I realize it now. But I was thinking that what he was doing was kind of dumb, but nobody was telling him that. Because he was pissing his money away, but he didn't care. He's like, fuck, I don't need nothing. I have all this extra money, even though I'll make a lot, but I'll just want to get drunk, do some cocaine, and just, play some lottery. I'm just gonna piss my money away, and I don't give a shit. And I was thinking, how can you be like that with money? Because without money, you don't have freedoms, you have opportunities, whatever. But it seems like in this world, there are a lot of people who just don't really want anything in life. They're just like sick and tired of this existence, so they just like they just like bored, and they just drinking and smoking and doing drugs in this life, which is a gift. Going back to life was overrated 96 once again, but he's right, in my opinion. I agree with him. It's like, if life is a gift and life is so fucking great, why do people escape life by means of alcohol and drugs? He's right about that. It's funny how a lot of people, it seems to me, like, think the same way, voice their opinions, but yet they all seem kind of powerless because they're not happy with their life situation, but there is nothing they can change. And I've been talking to my buddy today. He said, I'm gonna call you. And I told him, I'm not happy about life, but there's nothing can be done, so it's not worth talking about it. Because it's like in the movie Groundhog Day, where it was February 2nd, all year round. That's pretty much how life is. People are not happy, people are complaining, but they can't really change anything in life. And people say, oh, you need to do something about the situation, you need to do things. But it's like life is right. Life is overrated 96 said, yeah, people not happy, people are complaining, but nobody wants to get organized and do something about it and change things. People are just not willing to do it, and they're not going to do it. So talking about it, it's just a waste of my breath. It's killing time on this slave planet Earth, I guess. And everyone have an opinion. Everybody says how you should live your life, people being judgmental. But it's like, and I've been noticing it myself, it's like People are talking about all of this solution, and they talking about what's good for you, what's not good for you, what's right, what's wrong. When they themselves, they don't even know any better. Because they themselves don't have life altogether, and they're still not happy and complaining about life themselves. But yet, they feel the need to tell other people how they should live their lives. Or people tell other people, don't drink, don't smoke, don't do this, don't do that. But what's the alternative? Okay, if you tell somebody with mental illness, you shouldn't be smoking marijuana, but the person is unable to work, okay, he will eat ice cream instead of smoking weed, but it's not going to make much difference anyway, because the person is not working and not doing anything productive. But work, it's also like slavery, because it's like, okay, you go to work, you make money, you pay your bills, and then it's like you do it for the majority of your life, and then you get old, and then you fucking die. So it's like life is really like going to work. And like my mom used to tell me all the time, we work to live, but we don't live to work. And I disagreed with my mom, because I feel like, no, we live to work, and here's the proof. Like they say in America, you work for 50 years to enjoy 11 years. What does that tell you? We live to work. You work, you contribute, you pay your bills. And even if you save money, you cannot take it to your grave. We're afraid to die, but we're gonna die anyway. We try to save money, but even if you do, when you die, somebody else gonna enjoy your money. It's like the whole thing, it's like a whole big joke, you know? All of this existence is a big fucking joke. People are trying to fix you, they say something wrong with you, you shouldn't be like that, you shouldn't act like that. You're stupid for thinking this way. Okay, well. But when they tell me how I should live or how I should act, I'm like, fuck that. And I know that this is not a good solution. But people think that they got all the answers, but they clearly don't. People like to judge other people when they themselves don't have their lives together. And what does it mean to have your life together? That's a question. What does it mean to be stupid, to be smart? What's wrong, what's right? You know? What does it mean? To me personally, the important thing in life is to live life on my terms. But if I do that, people have problem with me. That's a problem, so people try to fix me. So now I have problem with that. The only solution is to be left alone and go to work and not to be around people. But then people want me to be around people, because if I'm not around people, then I'm lonely. But if I'm around people, I'm angry and miserable. So it's like there is no solution, really. Going to psychologists is a waste of time and money. Talking to your friends about your problems, from my personal experience, it's not a solution, but people try to help you, and then they get annoyed, and then it's like, okay, well, that conversation has no point. That's why I talk to my friend, I'm like, you know what? I know that you're going to be talking about my problem, but it's going to be the same thing over and over, and there is no point in that conversation. Yeah, I'm not happy the way things are going, but it's like, what can be done about it? And if it's nothing can be done, what's the point of complaining about it? I want to fix people, people want to fix me. And that's like a vicious cycle. It's just like time and energy wasted on unproductive stuff which doesn't really resolve anything. It's how life is. And then you have to be a societal slave and part of the group. Which is misery for me. You know? So, that's just it. Thanks for watching.